Welcome back. In the first part of this documentary, we learned that scorpions are extraordinary creatures with remarkable biological adaptations and genuine scientific value. We also discovered that many of the stories circulating on social media are far more complicated than they first appear. Now we move to the question that everyone wants to answer. Can you really make money by collecting or farming scorpions in Pakistan? Before answering this question, let's imagine a common situation. A young man living in southern Punjab watches a YouTube video claiming that a single scorpion is worth millions of rupees. The presenter confidently says that pharmaceutical companies are desperately looking for venom and that buyers are waiting to purchase live scorpions. Excited by the possibility of changing his family's financial future, the young man buys an ultraviolet flashlight and begins searching fields, deserts, and abandoned buildings every night. After several weeks, he has collected dozens of scorpions. But then reality sets in. Who will buy them? Where are the buyers? How will he transport them safely? How will he prove the species? How will he extract venom? In most cases, he discovers that finding a genuine buyer is far more difficult than finding the scorpions themselves. This illustrates the biggest misunderstanding surrounding the so called scorpion business. The truth is that scorpion venom can be valuable, but only under very specific conditions. Researchers studying venom are not simply buying random scorpions collected from the wild. Scientific laboratories require correctly identified species, healthy specimens, ethical collection practices, detailed records, and venom that has been collected, processed, and stored according to strict research standards. A pharmaceutical laboratory is interested in consistency and quality. Even venom from same species may vary depending on age, sex, diet, habitat, and environmental conditions. That is why venom research follows standardized scientific protocols rather than informal wild collections. Imagine trying to sell milk to a dairy company without refrigeration, quality testing, or hygiene standards. The company would reject it regardless of how much milk you had. The same principle applies to venom research. Scorpion venom contains hundreds of biologically active molecules. Many of these molecules interact with nerve cells by targeting ion channels responsible for transmitting electrical signals. Because of these unique properties, scientists investigate venom components for potential applications in neuroscience, infectious disease research, pain management, and cancer treatment. Researchers have identified peptides that may help scientists understand bacterial resistance, autoimmune disorders, and neurological diseases. Some venom derived molecules are being exploited for developing more selective medicines with fewer side effects. However, it is important to remember that most of these studies are still in research stage. Only a very small number of venom derived compounds have advanced toward clinical applications, and the process that discovery to an approved medicine often take many years. This brings us to another important question. Can Pakistan establish commercial scorpion farms? Technically, yes, but only under carefully controlled scientific and legal conditions. Scorpion farming is very different from poultry farming, fish farming, and beekeeping. Scorpions required specialized enclosures with carefully maintained temperature, humidity, ventilation, hiding places, and feeding schedules. Many species are solitary and may attack on another if overcrowded. Their reproductive cycles are relatively slow, and female often invest significant time caring for their young. Venom extraction itself requires specialized equipment and trained personnel. Improper handling can result in injuries to both humans and animals. Therefore, a successful venom production facility would resemble a biotechnology laboratory much more than a traditional livestock farm. Whenever people hear that a national product is extremely valuable, scams often follow. Around the world, there have been instances where many people claim to represent wealthy foreign buyers and pharmaceutical companies interested in purchasing unusual wildlife products. They may ask collectors to pay registration fees, laboratory testing charges, transportation costs, and export permits in advance, promising enormous profit later. Victims sometimes spend months collecting animals or paying these fees only to discover that buyers never existed. This pattern is not unique to scorpions. Similar scams have involved medicinal plants, rare mushrooms, exotic birds and insects, and even supposed miracle minerals. That is why extraordinary claims should always be examined critically. If someone promises instant wealth from wildlife collection, it is reasonable to ask for evidence, legal documentation, and independent verification before believing the claim. One of the most common questions is whether a single scorpion can really sell for millions of rupees. The answer is that there is no publicly verified evidence that ordinary wild caught scorpions are routinely sold for such amounts. Scientific research institutions do purchase biological materials for research, but these transactions occur through formal agreements, regulatory approvals, and quality standards, not through anonymous middlemen operating on social media. When extraordinary prices are mentioned online, viewers should ask important questions. Which institution is buying? Is there documented proof of the transaction? Is the species correctly identified? Were wildlife permits obtained? Has the claim been independently verified? Without clear evidence, such stories should be treated with caution. Although many viral claims are exaggerated, Pakistan possesses genuine advantages. The country has a remarkable diversity of scorpion species, experienced zoologists, expanding universities, and increasing interest in biotechnology. Institutions conducting research in toxicology, molecular biology, zoology, pharmacology, and natural product could potentially collaborate to study venom in legal and scientifically responsible manner. Instead of relying on rumors, Pakistan could invest in biodiversity documentation, venom biochemistry, peptide discovery, drug development partnerships, training programs for venom research, conservation based breeding programs where appropriate and legally permitted. Such investment would generate knowledge, build scientific capacity, and potentially create future commercial opportunities. The story of scorpion farming is not really about becoming rich overnight. It is about understanding how modern science transforms natural resources into knowledge and innovation. Every successful biotechnology industry is built on research, education, regulations, and patience, not shortcuts. The greatest opportunity for Pakistan may not lies in collecting thousands of wild scorpions, but in training the next generation of scientists capable of discovering new medicines, developing safer antivenoms, and contributing to global venom research. In the next part of this documentary, we will explore how Pakistan could realistically develop a legal venom biotechnology industry, what challenges must be overcome, and whether scorpion farming could ever become a sustainable commercial enterprise. We will also discuss the future of venom research